Bam, we live. Check it out, y'all. My name is Tim Black. Welcome to Tim Black Show. I got my partner here, Dr. Musa Abdullah. How you doing, Doc?
Doing all right, man. It's always a good time when I can get with my brother Tim Black and have another episode of Beyond the Talking Points. I love it. I love
That's
it.
right.
I love it.
Likewise, my brother, Beyond the Talking Points. Hey, guys, sorry that we didn't do this last week, but we here this week to make up for it. So, Doc said he got a lot, man. He sent me a grocery list of great topics, man. And only thing I would like to do, only thing I want to add is the Stephen A portion, which I told him offline. Yeah, Doc, man, bruh, and this hasn't been in our videos, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm starting to feel a certain kind of way about all the Stephen A. Smith dragging.
You know, and I'm going to tell you, it would never have been a day that you could have told me that I would be defending a Stephen A. Smith, right? Because I have always known him to be tap dancing for the establishment. And my biggest issue, I have a lot of issues, man, with this situation. I want to say first and foremost, I heard a term a long time ago. They said that the American society is becoming a gynocracy, where everything is catered to women. And it's unwritten rules that women are making rules and, you know, they are pushing agendas. And I didn't really understand the term, but when this thing reared its ugly head with the National Association of Black Journalists, giving him the thumbs down award or whatever award it was, what stuck out to me was what was prominently being stated was he's being given this thumbs down award because of his attack on Black women. Well, I find it very interesting because Stephen A. Smith has always attacked Black male athletes. And even while he was doing that, they were honoring him, having him do engagements. He was their do boy for the National Association of Black Journalists. But now that he critiqued female politicians, some Black, some cosplaying Black, and now they want to give him the thumbs down award. And to see people jump on this bandwagon, I think they're conflating who Stephen A. Smith has always been to who they see him as today. What are your thoughts?
Well, I see it as Stephen A. Smith, as you pointed out, and I agree with you, has always come after Black athletes. That's kind of been his calling card. I think that's what has made him most valuable to ESPN is that he's been a Black face going after Black male athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's transitioned that and used that same mode of operation in the political realm to go after Black women. I do believe he's doing that, but I don't believe it's any different than what he's always been doing, as you point out. Right. The thing that bothers me the most, and of course that's troubling, but like I said, that's his mode of operation. That's his get down. He knew that would work because it's been working for him up to this point against us. My thing is, I'm seeing a lot of people they're getting a lot of play on going after Stephen A. Smith. It's almost become like an industry. And what it is to me, fundamentally at the root, is a distraction from all the bullshit that Black people are actually dealing with. And we got people that will not call out the system, the establishment, the people in their party. Because if you take Stephen A. Smith away, you still got Joy Reid calling foundational Black Americans bots. You still got Jasmine Crockett cosplaying as a city girl when she's a prep school girl. You still got all of this going on. You still have Kamala Harris's campaign dysfunction, not truly being established to be a real serious campaign, though it had almost $2 billion at its disposal. Those things still exist, and we still are where we are. But these people who are constantly making, I keep seeing it. I saw another long video, AI video, about how horrible, and it's like they're scapegoating one guy as if that one guy's turn on the Black community is the problem, when he is only one guy who wasn't even doing politics 3 years ago. So it's like the same easy, lazy critiques of a system that you could go up one side, down the other with criticism. But that's not what they want to do. They want to pick up their money. They want to pick up their buttermilk biscuits in the form of media money, money online, money from their channels, money from their pages on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and not address anything serious, because they will not have serious critiques of the Democratic Party or the power structure at play. That's where I'm at with it. What say you, Doc?
I think I totally agree with you, brother. My biggest issue, alongside all of the many others, is what you said. It's a distraction, because now that has found its way into the algorithm. Let's talk about Stephen A. Smith. But let's be honest. Grassroots media has been talking about Stephen A. Smith for over a decade. This isn't new to us. So I think people like you and myself, we're kind of shocked, because we're saying, what is he saying new?
Right.
He's not saying anything new. The only difference is he's taking it off of the basketball court, off of the football field, and put it into the political arena. And now he's attacking people that more people identify with. Because let's be honest, the average individual doesn't identify with a basketball player or a football player, but they do identify with the politicians that they think represent them. So now when he goes and he critiques a Jasmine Crockett, and I'm going to keep saying critique, because I think saying attack is I think that's a little far-fetched to say.
It's words, man. It's words.
Right.
The
words
deal
matter.
with words. That's what
right. And words matter. I think when you start talking about when he critiqued Kamala's campaign,
right.
and let's be honest, he critiqued Joe Biden's campaign.
True.
Which is something that no other surrogates would do, because at this point in time, you got to realize Stephen A. Smith was a staunch Democrat at the time. I don't know what his leanings are at this point, but at the time he said, I voted for Joe Biden. But he did state that he recognized there was a problem. And when Kamala came on board, he critiqued her campaign. He critiqued the fact that she did not win the Democratic nomination. Those things were all valid critiques. I think it's a combination of many, many things. One, the messenger. Brother, you have never been on the side of the Black community, ever. That's just not your thing. And guess what? Us at the Black grassroots, who've been covering news for, such as yourself, 15 years plus, have already stated that. That's old news to us. But now that the NABJ has given him this thumbs down award, I personally believe that it's not because of what he did. I think it's because of what he did to people that they support.
I'll go a step further and say people that matter. Yeah, it's not that those athletes, those Black athletes that he would typically criticize,
right,
aren't well known enough to be considered like to get pushback. It's just that they're Black men, and so they're disposable.
Yeah,
they're Black men, so who cares? We are the whipping, we're the whipping. We're the scapegoat for all things America wants to go after. So we're gonna be the recipient of that, and it's no big deal. But it was the fact he went after Black women, and they are. And it'd be different, Doc, if they were protecting Black women. Really, you know what I'm saying? It would be different because I love Black women, man. I love Black women so much I made 3 of them with my wife. Okay,
that's real love. That's real love, right there.
That's real love, right?
That's real love.
And
who else said that? Your boy Dr. Umar Johnson said that.
He said that? I didn't know.
Well, he said that the most revolutionary act that you can ever do as a Black man and a Black woman is to create more Black people.
Right. It's also dangerous.
Yeah.
To pile on and to jump into this fray and pick up your money dragging Stephen A. Smith, because what they're dragging him for is criticizing, as you point out, Black women, but they'll shoot that shot at all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was critiqued by notable Black journalists about criticizing Black women, they never said, and it wasn't Black women, it's Black people in general.
Right.
It was like, why are you going after black folks? I'm like, well, they're the danger ones. They're the dangerous ones to the black community. Nobody listens to these white commentators. They don't take them seriously. They don't speak to our issues.
They don't.
But when these black folks that I'm criticizing, I criticize them because they're dangerous to our community, and I think they deserve criticism. And we're in the same business, and that's what the mic is for. But they never said, nah, don't criticize them. They're black, and they're good for us. They never said, don't criticize them because they're black and they're doing good work. They just said they're black. And I'm sorry, they're just not enough. So my thing with Stephen A. Smith also is that it buttresses this idea that it's okay to go after anybody with a critical lens. Anybody with critiques of black women in general should be shellacked and dragged across the internet. And I think that's bullshit. And also, the comparison between Stephen A. Smith and Brandon Tatum, it's like they're erasing the difference. I mean, Stephen A's bad, but he's not shitting on the black community as a whole.
No.
He criticized, and frankly, some of his criticism was weak. Like, all he really said about Kamala Harris is that her campaign and her political career may be over. He just regurgitated things that were already being said. He never denigrated. He never debased them. He never name called them. He never used foul language about them. It's like so many things he did not do that it's like, hold on a second. I cannot co-sign this dragging of him for these reasons. Now, if you want to drag him because he's a flip-flopping, self-serving egotist, fine. I'll go with that because I think he is that.
Yeah.
But to drag him just because he said that Joy Reid got fired because her ratings were down? Really?
I think, I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine, and I'm hoping that I don't get you in any trouble with what I'm about to say, Brother Black.
You can't. You can't get me in trouble.
You are the most dangerous man on the internet.
Every day in trouble.
You're the most dangerous man on the internet. So let me go. Here we go. I had a conversation, and in this conversation, I asked a question. I said, "Who can critique black women?" That was the question. It wasn't who can denigrate them, who can step on them, spit on them, and stomp on them. That's not my question. My question is, who can critique them? Well, we know that white men can't critique them because, of course, they'll be racist.
Right.
We know white women can't critique them because, of course, they'll be racist and jealous. Okay, so move them out the way. Black men, we can't critique them because now who hurt us? We have mommy issues.
Yeah.
We don't like ourselves. We hate ourselves, as a matter of fact.
Right.
If another black woman critiques her, oh, you're a pick-me. You don't care about black people. My question is, who can critique black women? And I think the problem came in more so because it was Stephen A. Smith. But let's be honest. You had our sister Monique critique black women in the most loving way possible. And they went after her. You had the beautiful Felicia Rashad make mention of things that need to be corrected that would be spearheaded by black women. They went after Felicia Rashad. And I think that when you wipe away who Stephen A. Smith is, it doesn't matter who would have said it. We would have been right here where we are today. And that's the saddening part to me. And I don't know if you're ready to move along because I kind of want to segue into the fact that I genuinely believe that this is all selective outrage about Stephen A. Smith. And I have absolute proof of that this is selective outrage. I'm not sure if you saw, but there was a big storm. And if this may not be your lane because it's not that important to you. The Black Greek letter fraternity world, there was a posting on my fraternity's social media congratulating the Republican nominee for the gubernatorial race in my home state of Michigan.
Oh, wow.
And he's an Alpha. He's in my fraternity.
Wow. Now,
being a member of Alpha for 35 years, I can tell you that it is practically, not 100%, I would say probably 99%, practically a Democrat machine. If you even say you're Republican, you're ostracized.
Yeah.
If you say you're independent, you get looked at side eye. Mm-hmm. And it's not just Alpha. I would say all of our organizations, there's 9 of us, all of the traditional Black Greek lettered organizations are Democrat machines. So when the good brother Sean McCaskill, who's head of our social media, posted the picture of brother John James as a congratulatory post saying, we want to congratulate brother John James for winning the Republican nomination for the gubernatorial race of Michigan. Brother, you should, I can't, it went on for days and days, and you would never have believed that these guys called themselves his brother.
Wow.
That's one. And I'm attempting to do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is disagree, but not be disagreeable. And this is a Black man.
Right.
He came through Alpha in Lansing, Michigan. Lansing, Michigan, right next to East Lansing, which is the city that houses Michigan State University. He's an active brother. He's financially active. He's not with a local chapter because I guess of his dealings, he doesn't have time, but he's paid his dues. And he was acknowledged for an accomplishment, as all politicians are.
Yeah.
Whenever a brother of Alpha is acknowledged or makes any notable accomplishment, he's acknowledged on our social media. But they were calling for brother Sean McCaskill's head for having him on there. But my first thinking was, wait a minute, he's a Black man.
Yeah.
I thought that we were a fraternity that uplifted and recruited Black men. But now him being a Black man doesn't matter. Oh, well, he's aligned himself with Trump. He is a detriment to the Black community. I said, but you're the same brothers who were promoting, let's not even say, you were promoting Biden, the author of the 1994 crime bill. You're the same Black men who promoted him. And then when he stepped away, you promoted Kamala Harris, a woman who won for me, this is number one for me, who stated clearly with her full chest, I ain't gonna do nothing that's gonna only help Black people. No.
Right.
She said that with her full chest. And she was locking up parents for truancy. And she was locking up people for marijuana offenses. And she was delaying the release of inmates who were overwhelmingly Black men because she wanted them to do work for the state of California. But you have a problem with this man because he is aligned with Trump when you aligned yourself with men and a woman who actually implemented policy that spoke against not just Black men, the Black community. And I just want to point out the hypocrisy of that. And I want to land with this. I keep hearing this being said, and I just hate to hear it but there's a level of truth to it. I'm an independent. You're an independent.
Absolutely.
So I think you and I have more leeway to say what I'm about to say. the Democrats have shown to be the more racially biased than the Republican. Because guess what? The Republicans, on a grand scale, have not shown us in most of our lifetimes substantial policy against foundational Black Americans. But I can readily list policy that was put in place by Democrats that the only person I could say is Ronald Reagan. Definitely. But outside of him, we have the destruction of the Black nuclear family. A lot of it was placed at the hands and at the feet of Joe Biden. So for you as a brother, a Black man in our organization, to take umbrage with someone posting a Black man in our fraternity being nominated as the Republican nominee for the gubernatorial race in Michigan, and now all of a sudden you want to shut down the page and who's running this page and he's a coon and he's this, he's stepping and fetching. I'm like, but you were just backing Kamala Harris, who you know has nothing in line for our community. What are your thoughts, brother?
Well, first of all, that was strong. Now, I appreciate you. It ties into what I was saying earlier when I was saying my trepidation with Stephen A. Smith's criticism being so mainstream, being so encouraged, is that I would have no problem with people defending Black American women, Black women.
Right.
No problem. If I thought they were doing that earnestly, and if that's what they truly believed. But my problem is I see it's a ruse, because if we truly cared about Black women, we would not just be caring when it was the elite Black women. We'd be talking about the infant mortality rate, the maternal mortality rate. We'd be talking about the shortening of life expectancy. We'd be talking about the incredible amounts of debt, the most indebted women in seeking higher education are Black women. We'd be talking about human trafficking. We'd be talking about these types of things. And until the Democratic Party addresses those issues, any of their surface nonsense about we need to protect Black women, well, that just doesn't ring true for me. And this folk fixation on Stephen A. Smith as if this is a badge of protecting Black women. And I'm looking at the people that are doing it. It makes me feel the same way about what you're expressing here with your brother, your fraternity brother. They just want to depict that anything that isn't Democrat is bad.
It's so disingenuous, brother. I would be more comfortable if they said protect the Black women that we like. That if they said that, at least it would be honest. Because I'm thinking about what happened with where was this protection of Black women when we were talking about Sandra Bland?
Or Sonia Massey, or many of the media,
or Corin Gaines, or any of them.
More than that, because those are easy, right?
Right. So, but we're talking about that's that's an infantile moment. Right. We're talking about small moments. But I think your points are the most stringent when you start talking about infant mortality rates.
Working class Black Americans do not get the same level of attention to their issues.
Absolutely not.
The Democratic Party brushes up next to it every election cycle for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they go back to doing whatever they were doing. And then they want to fight these away games with the elites as if that's doing something, as if, of all people, as if Michelle Obama needs our help. We have to defend Michelle Obama. Stephen A. said something about Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama's gonna be okay.
She good.
She gonna be all right.
She good.
Michelle's gonna be okay. Jasmine's gonna be okay.
They're gonna be okay.
Kamala's gonna be okay. Joy's gonna be okay. They're okay. And the reason why I brought up Sonia Massey, Corin Gaines, and Sandra Bland was because those are individual women, right? Just like Michelle Obama's an individual woman. Jasmine Crockett's an individual woman. But we know that Stephen A. Smith has a problem with the Black community as a whole. So if you're going to give him a thumbs down award, why is it just now coming up? You've been dealing with.
I see your point.
Right, you've been dealing with this man for years, and you've never thought that his commentary was negative towards the black community. Never.
Yeah, but see, my point I'm trying to make is that it's tokenism, right. And it is.
I got you.
It is a lazy attempt at trying to get credit for something that they're actually not doing. Okay. It's no problem. Like if you would like, you know, if you enjoy Joy Reid, if you respect Kamala Harris's political acumen or talents, that's fine. I got no problem with that, and we can root for whoever we want to root for. Right. And if you are a Democratic voter, fine. You might not like what he said about her, whatever his critique is. That's fine. But it's just this idea that equates to protecting black women. That's what I'm talking about. It's like they're using the language of revolutionaries in a type of language from the grassroots, but they don't have any true grit behind it. There's no intention, because if they really had intentional protection, if that's really what they wanted to do, would it be legislation? They'd be talking about what they were doing for all the black women. What they do for the least of these would be the conversation they would be having. And so tying that into what you were saying about your brother, man, it's like same thing with Byron Donalds. I'm not a supporter of Byron Donalds, but I revel in the fact that the Democrats get to lick their wounds for a moment, because I remember when they were saying he was a Sambo because he was tap dancing for Trump and trying to be VP. Those same people forget that Cory Booker did the same thing trying to be VP. Mm-hmm. Those same people ignore Raphael Warnock with his tap dancing.
Absolutely.
His hollow, whatever this preaching thing he's doing, and then doesn't translate into actual legislation for black Americans. So I agree with you when you say, hey, where's the truth? Where's the proof? Where's the beef? Said the old lady said, where's the beef? I'm so old, I remember that. Where's the beef?
I remember that. That's from the 80s.
Yeah. Where's the beef? And because you say, hey, if you're going to stand up for black Americans or black women, if you're going to stand on business, be about that business. And the Democrats are not about the business.
They're definitely not. And what I want to also talk about is the fact that the only time they talk about black women is when they're talking about abortions. Let's talk about that. Let's have that conversation.
Dude, hey, look. Brother,
I mean, we gotta always listen. Let's be honest.
You, fam. We could talk about it. Let's do it.
Yeah, because the only time I ever heard Ms. Harris talk about it is when she talked about the right to choose, right? But we never talked about how black women are dying on operating tables, how they're receiving inadequate health care, how black women have given full-throated testimony how they're mistreated by medical staff. I mean, come on. I went to college. I spent most of my life in college, and I've seen these women coming out of schools with $300,000 worth of debt.
Hello.
Right.
Yes, sir.
My thing is, if you care so much about black women, how come your boy made it so that you couldn't even put your student debt into a bankruptcy?
There it is.
That's talking about your boy Biden. He did that.
Absolutely.
Biden did that. So we're talking about one of the most debt-laden groups that you're not offering any relief to.
But to criticize Biden makes you a Sambo.
Right, you're a Sambo.
And
you're a Tom. You're a coon.
And to criticize Kamala, who says she wouldn't do anything different than what Biden's done, you're also considered not only a Sambo, but a woman hater, misogynistic, and you don't love your mama.
You must. Who hurt you? That's the famous one. Who hurt you? And that blows my mind. I'm like, no one. Who's hurt me? Okay, this system has hurt me.
There you go.
Both sides of the aisle have hurt me.
Yes, sir.
Because they've hurt my community. So don't do as you just said. Put on these platitudes of we love all black women. No, you love certain black women. And I think that there's a lot of it too. The reason why I think a lot of people jump on this bandwagon, brother, and spitting on a brother like John James, but uplifting this commentary about Stephen A. Smith is because we love someone who looks like a fighter. We don't love actual fighters as a community, as a collective. Let's be honest. Actual fighters, we have a problem with, because actual fighters fight every fight. People who look like fighters fight things that we think they need to be fighting. Because guess what? People such as you and me will get dragged in the comments. We'll be told, oh, I'm never listening to you, I'm going to unsubscribe. You didn't have to give us that, you didn't have to give us that notice. When you unsubscribe, it'll show up. We'll know. You don't have to tell us. But if you really care about the Black community, why are you, first of all, only focusing on one sector of it? And secondarily, why are you only focusing on a sector of the sector, the elite sector of a sector? Let's talk about the entire community. Let's talk about the people who actually want to do the good work, talk about all of the issues, but stop talking about you love Black women when you have not shown us any policy to prove thereof.
You know what's very upsetting, Doc, man, it keeps me up at night, brother? Gas. No, I'm joking. No. Prostate. No, check this out, man. You going to the bathroom. No. Though I just did celebrate a birthday, so that is.
Happy birthday, brother. Peace on your day. Peace on your
brother.
day.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. I will say this, man. This one thing that bothers me, man, is, bro, I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. Man. I say, Damon Johnson, remember, man, as you know, I've been doing this 15 years.
Yeah.
And I know in my heart of hearts what I have to do. I got to be a Democrat or Republican. I know it. There is no room for me doing this. None. The only people that care about me doing it are people that care enough to be a Democrat or a Republican. The other people that are independent don't care enough, have no faith in the system, will not support what I do, nor are enthusiastic about politics. That's why they're independents. That's why they're agnostic.
Yeah.
That's why they own a couch. So I'm faced with a dilemma, and the dilemma is reality. I look around, I say, I don't have a choice. And the problem is, I can't with good conscience go either way. I just can't. And I know I'm not alone. I'm sure that some of these look, man, I talk, I criticize, but I've met with some of these people. Some of these people are good people.
Yeah.
They just realized what I realized 10 years earlier. They didn't go into IT or another field and then did this. They did this. It may be in their family, or they may have been doing it for 20 years and 30 years, and they already know what I know now.
Right.
I'm telling you, brother, it's so troubling to know all this shit we putting down right now. It's amazing stuff. It is valuable. It is important. And Black America needs to embrace it. And this may be something that actually helps us. And I also know not enough Black Americans will give a damn about it. Not enough will care, because the ones that are Democrats will say I'm a hater of Democrats and that I'm a sellout. And the ones that hate the Democrats, and when I'm not dusting off the Democrats, they say you should be a Republican. Why aren't you a Republican? I mean, it's going to go both ways.
Yeah.
So this is the dilemma. This is where it's a rock between a rock and a hard place, is where we sit. Right?
Yeah, brother. Let me. If you mind me interjecting real quick, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll say this. I agree with what you're saying, but I look at this commentary. I look at what we're doing like art. And the reason why I said it is because most artists are not appreciated while they're in their prime, while they are creating the art.
While they're alive.
Most of art, while they're alive.
Posthumously, yeah.
Yeah, right. And matter of fact, look at our revolutionaries. During their time, they were hated on all sides. If you're going to speak truth to power, you need to understand you're going to live a lonely life. You're going to be lonely. It's just what it is. You can do one of two things. You can one of three things. You can acquiesce, pick a side, and go hard on that side. At least you have that group of people on your back.
Yeah.
You could decide to do absolutely nothing and just sit back and watch everything burn.
That's what George Carlin did.
Right.
That's what George Carlin did. George Carlin. And people, look, don't sleep on him because it's NABJ Prime I'm talking about.
Oh, no. Listen, I remember watching George Carlin when I was a young man on HBO back when the satellite was on top of the roof. So I remember George Carlin's. He the one hit me to certain politics when he was talking about the elites. And I was like, what is this man talking about?
Right.
He was well ahead of his time.
Right.
And he used comedy for what it was meant to be, to give commentary on the world, but give it in a comedic fashion. But your third option is to do what we're doing right now and just understand that we're just planting seeds, brother. There is no way that you could have told El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, Malcolm X. Matter of fact, we go one step further.
Yeah.
There's no way you could have told the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that his words would be read in 2026.
Wow.
That people would be reflecting back on things that he said in the 40s. He just accepted that if I'm going to help save my people, I will be hated, I will be mocked, and I will be lonely. Maybe that's why he has so many wives, but that's neither here nor there. That's not the point. The point is that he galvanized a nation of black men and women under the banner of Islam, and he was hated for it. And he didn't know that he felt he had to do it. And I'm telling you, brother, I know you get tired. I know you do. I do, man. I see the content you're putting out. I'm like, man, this brother, he's on a roll today. You know, I'm looking at it, I'm commenting, I'm sharing it. And I'm like, man, you know. It's
just that what we're discussing here, man.
Yeah.
Doc, what we're talking about right now, brother, is so much more honest, real, and helpful to the black community than anything I've heard come out of Mark Lamont Hill's mouth in the last 10 years. And it will not reach the people that need it. And that's very frustrating because it doesn't matter that it's right, you know?
But you know that's by design.
That brother, he just compared trans athletes or an alleged trans woman who touched a child. He compared you misgendering her, even if accidentally, to a white person calling a black person the N-word. And that guy didn't even have to respond. This is the same guy that jumped in my comment section 2 months ago when I had some words for Tiffany.
Tiffany Cross?
Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, Tiffany Haddish.
When she went on the 154 Africa podcast and said some things about Eritrean and black Americans and what black Americans don't, you know, they slipping and they don't. Yeah. Some comments she made. Yeah. Him and Wendell Pierce both came in my comment section on Twitter and came after me about criticizing her. But this guy can compare a trans person being misgendered to the most debasing word that white people have used against black Americans. And he doesn't even have to answer to me about it. He doesn't even have to acknowledge that that's a problem. And not just for me, to anyone. And he's still sitting on the Joe Budden podcast being held up as this authority, this intellectual, and it's just frustrating as hell. And though we're doing it, I feel we're doing a fight, we're fighting a good fight. It also, it's sick, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. He gets to do that.
But let me say this to you, brother, and I agree with you 100%. First of all, it was so ridiculous. I didn't give it any energy. I was like, this isn't a thing. I remember when I saw this was, I know you remember, this was probably about 10 to 15 years ago when they were having those t-shirts that said gay is the new black. You remember those t-shirts?
I remember, yeah.
Right. So him saying that really isn't a shock to me because if you watched his debate with Candace Owens, That would tell you all you needed to know about him. When he did not want to definitively say that men could not get pregnant. Once you hear when you hear a biological man say that, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Nothing you say holds weight. Everything you say from this point on is compromised. Moving on to the fact that now I love the Joe Budden podcast at times. I like some of their topics. I like some of the commentary. But it reminds me of what I was told back when I was in high school. The man with one eye in the land of the blind is king.
Right.
Right. So Mark Lamont Hill to them probably looks like a real intellectual, but he is nothing but an elite, an establishment surrogate.
And a coward.
And he's a coward.
That's the problem.
And he's afraid to say what, and he knows. See, what upsets me the most about him is that he knows. It's not that he doesn't know.
That's the point.
That's what upsets me. It reminded me when I was working on my dissertation, I'm going to tell you, I really believed I was going to be breaking barriers. I was going to be doing some cutting edge research and I was going to blow the lid off education. I really believed that.
Yeah.
Until I started doing my research and come to find out that what I was studying, they knew it for 40 years.
Yeah.
So that is what pissed me off about the educational system.
Right.
Like, so wait a second. You know the problem. You know the solution, but you refuse to address it. Right. That's my problem with the Mark Lamont Hill.
Right.
To be honest with you, if you want to talk about the Hills, that's my issue with Jemele Hill.
Right.
She's another one who knows the issue, but refuses to actually touch on it, speak on it. I genuinely believe Joy Reid is just dumb. I don't think she knows. I think she knows what people tell her. I mean, she said Crispus Attucks was Haitian. I'm done with her. It's nothing she can say to me ever again that I'll listen to. But Mark Lamont Hill, he's a coward. He knows that what he's saying is incorrect. He knows he's pandering to a subgroup. Right. And he also knows that as long as he has that subgroup in his pocket, he's always going to be funded.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it in a nutshell, brother.
Yeah.
They know the game.
Yeah.
And they're playing the game.
You know, I noticed, and I want to dip in and out on this one.
Okay.
I don't know, I kind of follow your channels and your X feeds and everything, I follow you pretty closely. I didn't see much about Brother Martin.
Oh.
Did you do any coverage on that?
I covered it.
You did.
I covered it. I did a couple pieces on it because,
right.
Okay, it was news, and I felt it was
okay.
You know, he when this guy goes on his platforms and he dumps on us, he's talking to millions of people.
Right.
He's talking to Roland Martin's footprint is about 5 million strong.
Yeah.
If you count his app, his Facebook, his Instagram, and his YouTube.
Right.
He's sitting on folks who basically, some folks have 20, 35, 2,000. He don't care.
No,
he Bigfoots smaller folks. So yeah, I took the opportunity to put him in check and say, you can't, pontificate about what we need to get right when you the way you're living.
Right.
How you get there.
Yeah.
But I didn't stay, but to answer, hold on, let me answer the question fully. But I did not stay on it because brother, it just got so messy and it was sleazy, and it was like, at the end of the day, it's his private life. Right. I don't expect him to come out and clear the air. So unless he says something, I'm moving on, bro. Unless he comes out and addresses it, which I don't think he will, then what am I doing? Just talking about rumors.
Yeah, I wanted to say the reason why I brought that up is because he's another individual who knows. Roland's not stupid. You can say what you want about him, but you can't call him stupid.
No.
You can't call, you might want to, if you want to go to the etymology, you might want to call him a fool. You could call him that potentially, but you can't call him stupid. He's learned. He's well read. He's versed. He knows. But I think that he slants things in such a way that, and I don't have a problem with people having opposing positions. That's not my issue. Let's have a conversation. We can do that all day, every day. But I do have a problem when you utilize ad hominem attacks on entire groups of people,
right,
because you disagree with them. Now you set yourself up for your personal life to be drugged into the conversation. And I'm not going to drag that part of his life into the conversation. But what I will say is, I hope that this was a humbling enough experience for him that he will stick to the issues. And I honestly look forward to the day when he's willing to align himself with a Tim Black, align himself with a Black Authority or Professor Black Truth.
What a Dr. Musa Abdullah.
He can listen. He probably would never talk to me because
you're frat brothers,
right? Because I'm his frat brother. He like, oh no, you should never have said anything bad about me. So I don't even add myself to the conversation. But I believe that if he were able to utilize the acumen, the knowledge that he has of the real deal, what's going on in our community, in our society, what's really going on with politics, and speak to the truth, I think that those 5 million ears, those 5 million pairs of ears that you talk about, we could actually start making some foreseeable traction. What are your thoughts?
Wow. Well, that would be a great opportunity if he did see the light or decide that it was worth it. Because he knows what the light is.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's something I believe there's something in there that tells these folks, like Roland, it's not worth it.
Now, I got to say something, man. I'm sorry, I got to say it. Roland, we telling you, come on over here, brother. You see they trying to get rid of you. You did a little bit too much critiquing of the Democrat Party, brother. They trying to hang you out there. The days is over. It's about time you start being truly independent. Come on over to Tim Black's show, man. Come on to Beyond the Talking Points. You want to come on my little itty bitty channel? Come on over to my little itty bitty channel. You get my couple of followers, man. Listen, because they're not gonna listen to you if they just gonna be you. But I'm telling you, there's a group of people who are waiting for you to tell that truth, man. And Tim Black's waiting for you, man. Come on over here. Stop playing games. I hope I didn't put you out there, brother Black.
No, conversation.
Yes, we just talking, brother.
My door's open to him, Stephen A. Smith, Candace Owens, any of these people that want to have a real conversation, but, it's going to be a real conversation. Yeah. It's going to be some receipts brought.
Yeah. And I think that once you have that real conversation, it'll ingratiate you to the people who are actually willing to do the work, man, because some people just want to see you crash and burn. Some people just want to see you be a champion for them, for their beliefs, but no one wants to see you actually do the work, brother. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You've called me and Brother Black out personally in one of your rants. You called us out. You didn't say our names, but we knew who you were talking about, and that's okay. We don't even mind.
We still want Simons.
So you simple Simon MFers, but guess what? That's okay. We still want you to come on over here and have that conversation. We're not going to attack you. We want to just know where your head really is, because I'm letting you know, brother, that Democrat gravy train is pulling into the station. They're going to put you off of it. So you got to remember, you have a legacy, brother. Who do you want to be known as, this guy? Or do you want to go down in history as a Tony Brown, a Rock Newman? Because honestly, that's where you are. Those are your contemporaries, as far as their reach. Yeah. And I think that you have the opportunity to say, you know what, let me start having conversations with real grassroots, independent Black media. And I think a good start would be with Brother Tim Black.
Wow. Wow. Well, let's switch gears, man. Let's talk about, you know what I was also want to add in, Earn Your Leisure.
With InvestFest,
yeah.
when he turned on his heels, first of all, you had it in the Black Mecca, but then you turn around and tell us InvestFest wasn't for just Black people. That you are going to be reaching out to Asians and white folks. And brother,
is that why he crashed and burned? Because he got some pushback on that? That's why he said it's not a Black thing, because Black people were pushing back?
Well, this is what he said in his apology tour.
He did the apology tour.
Oh, he started his apology tour already. Wow, oh, yeah, he started that. Oh, that was quick. It was like, what, 2-3 days? Oh, yeah. Oh, he had to jump on that apology bandwagon. And he had to, because people were like, wait a second. Wait a minute. What? It wasn't for Black people. Well, this is the thing. He said it. And I honestly believe what he said. He said, one of my issues is that I'll get 100 people giving me kudos about what I did. But that one person who had a comment that spoke against what we were doing, that's the one I remembered. And I believe him when he said that.
What?
Yeah, that's what he said. And guess what? I know that because I'm going to tell you something. I don't think most people have the acumen for the fame that they acquire. They don't know how to handle it. You got people who were just average run-of-the-mill guys who were catapulted into the limelight. They're not used to hearing how terrible someone thinks they are. And let's be honest, InvestFest has been known at this point to be platforming scammers, platforming people who don't really have the business acumen that they speak on. They're just all lip service. It reminded me when Dr. Boyce Watkins promoted Jay Morrison, who ended up stealing $12 million from the Black community.
Wow.
And Dr. Boyce Watkins still has yet to apologize.
And he still has a platform.
It still has a platform.
Wow.
So I get it. Earn Your Leisure. You turn around and told us that it wasn't just for Black people. But then you realize, like your sister Tasha K, woo, I done barked up the wrong tree. These people are paying my bills. And I'm going to tell them that it wasn't for them. He knows he has no sway in the Asian community. He has no sway in the Caucasian community. What is he thinking? I don't know. What are your thoughts, brother?
It's like one of my viewers said, you're smelling yourself. I believe he's smelling himself. He was smelling himself at the time. He's doing really well. The guy's been, cloaking themselves in blackness. We've got a show called The Blackout. How you gonna have a show called The Blackout? To be talking about this ain't a Black thing. That's crazy.
It. That's insane.
I will give him grace because I feel victim to it. It's you a human being and you get criticism and you reject the criticism, you get pissed off, and we got mics and we're able to talk. And sometimes you may, I've gone back and forth with people I should have never gone back and forth with. I should have not said nothing. There's no reason on this earth why I should be talking to you.
Right.
This person needs a couple people. But I did it, man, because I was mad.
Right.
And that's the worst time to grab your mic because you're liable to say some things that are going to be forever on the record and they're going to forever use it against you. So I give him grace on that because that happens.
Right.
But also, I with him, I got to say, I feel like he was smelling himself a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was mad.
And he was mad.
Both of those things can be true.
And he's got a lot of apologizing to do. Number one, for saying that, and number two, he was talking about how Atlanta didn't do him justice.
Oh,
and I'm like, you chose to have this in what they call a Black Mecca, and you are talking about how Atlanta didn't do anything for you. because you expected more from them to give you more. We all understand something in the content creation game. It's about value. You've got to bring value in order to recoup revenue. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You're bringing value.
And it's the value. The value is determined by the viewers.
Thank you. You don't determine what's value.
There you go.
The people who are receiving it determine what's value. You don't determine the price. We determine the price. You can tell us that it's worth $1,000, but we say, no, it's worth 10. Guess what you're going to end up selling it for? 10. And if you get on our nerves, we might not even buy it for 10. So I think you're right by giving him grace, giving both of them grace, because it was one that was talking more than the other. And I think the other one was kind of like, ooh, I'm gonna ride with you, but I don't know about this one. Right. But they on that apology tour speaking full-throated by saying, we hurt people. We didn't mean to do that. That's not what we meant. I was in my feelings. I paid more attention to the negative than the positive. And I think that he needs to go back to his root, the Black community, and attempting to give them strategies to become more financially viable and financially self-sufficient.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I'm not going to hate on him, man. Mistakes happen. His brother apologized. I mean, what did he really do except say some words?
Yeah, he just said words, man. He just said words. Yeah, and he pulled them back quickly.
Yeah. It's fine.
Real fast.
He didn't actually take money. He didn't take food off anybody's table. It's all good.
Yeah.
You want to move on to this? I want to hear, because I haven't heard. You said you had a take on the teacher who was sobbing in the video that went viral. Brother, please give me the lowdown on this.
Okay, so when you sent me the video, I had seen it about a couple of hours earlier, right? Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. As a Black male educator, that's not how we respond when kids are not reading to level, when they can't read. We're pissed off because we know that it isn't our fault. It just becomes our problem. So when I saw him sobbing and crying, I said, I'm going to wait, because something didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. I said, I'm going to wait a second. So I waited, and I waited for a couple of people to jump in on it. And the person that I knew was going to jump in on it was a content creator by the name of Talking Tia. Talking Tia is an educator.
Okay.
And she matter of fact, I had one of her t-shirts on, and one of my broadcasts says, "Make it make sense." And she always utilizes that as her catchphrase because she was blackballed in education for telling the truth about education.
Wow.
Right. And I'd be willing to bet she was probably a dynamic instructor. I'd be willing to bet she's a dynamic teacher. But Talking Tia was like, no, something ain't right. Because where the students at? How come you're not talking about specific students? You're not talking about their names, but you're talking about as a group, and you're this broken up over, and you've only been a teacher for a couple of months. You haven't been. She said, what about us who've been teachers for years, decades?
Yeah.
That's what came to my mind. So then I started digging a little bit more. Come to find out, his niche was not education at first. He was a chef. So that he just become, and listen, no shade to that at all, because I know a lot of people, their second careers are education.
Okay.
Right. I know a lot of people that come from corporate. One of my former principals, he was on Wall Street and he went into education. He was a damn good principal too. Went for education to a principalship. But I was thinking, like, so let me get this straight. You just got into education and you had one situation that brought you to tears. You didn't know these kids couldn't read? Let me tell you something, brother, in education. You can tell if kids can read in the building by walking into the building. As an educator, you can walk into a school. I can be there for about half an hour and tell you, oh yeah, these kids ain't reading too well up in here. You can tell by the culture of the building. Yeah. Any educator that's watching this live feed, you know what I'm talking about. You can go to the main office, or you could just go to a classroom and sit in there for 10 minutes and like, oh, you know, these kids in this building can't read. And you can go to a high school and look at what they're emphasizing the most on their social media, on in their hallways, how the children are conducting themselves. You can tell whether or not children are reading up to par. It's a crazy thing, but you can tell. And this guy, you're trying to tell me he just figured it out?
Well, you said he only been teaching a couple of months, right?
Right. And
where's this newfound, like, any kind of setting to have such a deep emotional attachment to a profession you just started 2 weeks ago?
Right. It didn't seem right. Not to mention, he showed some video of him teaching a lesson, and the way he was teaching didn't even look right. I'm like, who is he teaching that to? That doesn't look like a real lesson. Is this real? Is he doing a mock lesson? I didn't know. You could hear any children whatsoever. Now, a lot of schools do not allow you to videotape children. So you can have the video trained on the teacher.
Right.
And that's okay. I've participated in videos like that. Okay. But you hear kids in the background. You hear commentary. There was nothing. It's like he was teaching, and the consensus is that he was teaching to an empty room. He was acting. And I'm like, it seems to me like this is fake. And I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. But I'm going to say this as a black man in education. What black men typically do, when we go in and we identify that there are children who have deficits, we go into repair mode. Because as men, we like to fix problems.
There it is.
We start saying, okay, who can we get to tutor these people? Who can we get to come in and offer resources? Where can we send these young people to get the skills that they need? What's going to be the backup? What are we going to be able to offer them? Because if they're in high school, they only got a couple of years left with us. And if they can't read today, most likely not going to read in a couple of days or in a year or two. But we need to get them on a path to understanding that just because you didn't get it up until now doesn't mean you can't get it later. We go into repair mode. We start bringing people under our wings and start offering tutoring. We start offering before school, lunchtime, after school. We start offering things like that. You're just going to sit there and cry? That's not real, brother. And I'm going to say
feminine energy.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this to you. If you were being real, I'm going to need you to dry your eyes, suck that shit up.
Right.
And start looking for resources for those students.
Get to
Crying
work.
to us didn't do nothing except put you on the hot seat.
Get to work, brother.
Get your ass in motion. Your ass should be there early and leaving late. Yep. You should be working through your lunch hour. You should have kids in your room on your prep. And you should be calling parents. You should be telling parents to seek out lawsuits. Why the hell is my junior not being able to read? But he's a junior in high school. Brother, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry, brother. And that's my take on that young man or older man. I don't know his age level. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard he was like in social media or something prior to this, and they feel like he's grifting. And you said he was a chef. He's cooking a grifting gumbo.
Yeah, he found a new niche.
Found a new niche, right? He's got a new niche.
Yeah,
so I don't know, man. That was the kind of take I got from it. Like, I wasn't sure. I didn't make any content on it because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and when I'm telling you, look up, and if anybody out there, please follow Talking Tia, TALKNTIA, Talking Tia. Follow her on Instagram. She makes some of the most funny, most hilarious, but true commentary on education, specifically education that represents our community, how we're affected by it, and how teachers are tormented, how we're treated, how educators in general are afraid of the students, but the students ain't afraid of nobody. You know, we're afraid of we're afraid of the students, we're afraid of the parents, we're afraid of administration, we're afraid of the higher ups, we're afraid of the Department of Education, and the kids ain't afraid of no damn body. And she talks about that ad nauseum. but she knows what she's talking about. So follow Talking to You.
Give it up for that, man. That's dope how you looked out for that sister, man.
Yeah.
Talking to You.
Yeah.
Wow, brother. And look, guys, remember to go get my brother Dr. Musa Abdullah's channel, All Things Education Official. Follow him, the FBA educator.
Right. I appreciate that. Man. Yeah, that's me on TikTok. And like I say, I'm giving you education news from a foundational Black American man's perspective. And always look out for us here on Beyond the Talking Points, man. We have some good conversations. I know a lot of it resonates with you out there. And I'm always honored to be with my brother, Tim Black.
Always, man. Always. Look, I wasn't trying to shut it down and let you all, man, if it was because I know.
No, we good to go, man. Listen, I just want the people to know we here, man. We here. Okay, we missed last week, but we are here.
Okay. I can't remember what else you had on the list, bro. Yeah. Talking. Damn. So we had Stephen A. We had the brother, the educator.
We had John James. We had John James, the Alpha, who got the Republican nomination.
James, okay. Yeah.
Listen,
Byron
man.
Donalds. Yeah, your story basically is the Byron Donalds same thing.
Yeah, same
it's
thing.
It's the Republican, and how the Democrats show their colors.
That's absolutely. So, like I said, I'm gonna work on, and for my brothers, I have brothers in my chapter who are like, oh, here come Musa trying to stir it up. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna say this to you, brothers, specifically the brothers of Gamma Iota Lambda chapter, Brooklyn, New York. Giving you a shout out. I am working on being more agreeable. Or let me say, I'm going to learn how to disagree without being disagreeable, brothers. And I know you're always on my neck about it, pulling my coattails. I'm going to work on it, and I think a perfect platform will be with my brother Tim Black.
Hey man, I need to be, I need to consider creating more allies and just enemies. It's, I don't know, man. It is what it is. I mean,
brother John James, you want to come on over to talk to brother Tim Black for your gubernatorial run? Come on over, brother John James. You can listen. This is an alpha brother to an alpha brother. I know you got a lot of heat because you ran a Republican and you aligned yourself with Trump. Come on over here, man. Tell us what you plan on doing. How are you going to affect change for the Black community?
That's right.
Now, if you're not going to affect change for the Black community, we assume you're not going to want to come on over to Tim Black's channel, especially or my channel. But if you do, or if you just want to get your platform out there, brother, come on over. We want to talk to you too. And rolling the invitations out there, brother. I got hopes for you, man. I know a lot of people speak ill of you. I speak ill of you, and that's okay. But I think that you got some. I think you got a strong conviction, and I think if you put it in the right place, you can do wonderful things with it, brother.
Well, I think it doesn't matter how much you know if you ain't using it for the right cause.
I agree.
I've got to hold you accountable on that shit, rolling, because it seems to me like you working for the Democrats instead of working for Black America.
Don't let that scare you. You come on. If you disagree with Brother Black, come on over and tell him. Talk to him.
It's pragmatic. I'm a pragmatist. Start coming with that. Nah, man. Nah. So we gonna bump heads, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's what you know. It's because I really do care about Black America.
Right.
I care about us.
That's right.
And if that's where you coming from, then it's all love, man. We can have a disagreement as long as we're both rooted in wanting the best for our people.
Absolutely.
But if I sense that you just on trying to get paper, it's going to be a problem.
It ain't going to end well for you, brother.
Because the main time I hear him complaining, it's about, we didn't get no funding. Get my pay. We ain't getting funded. Where the money at? What, you need to put money in a district? He really mean him.
Yeah, well, listen, Harris gave you enough money for that campaign. Was it $300,000?
You good. You good,
yeah, you good. You good for about a year or two, maybe. You good, brother. You all right.
Come on, man. We got a lot of people in the comments, man. It's so many questions.
So they got questions. What they asking, brother? What they talking about?
Yeah. Let me grab one of these. So many questions, no answers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Kobe Myers. So many questions, no answers. What's your question, Kobe? Go ahead and give us that, and we'll try to
listen.
answer.
We want to give you an answer if we got it. Come on, give it to us.
And there's a brother here. His name is Giants Fan NYC 92. That's a good year. Keep on banging on. Keep on keeping on. Okay, fam. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
But we'll try to hang in there. Roland Martin is a tool. See, that's the harsh criticism, you know.
That's the criticism you're gonna get coming over here, brother. Get out your echo chamber, man. Come on over here with the real people who want to do the real work for the real communities that care about working class people.
That's right.
We care about our community, but we also care about working class Americans. That's where we fall, brother. We don't rub elbows with the elites. Now, brother Tim Black has had the pleasure and honor to interview some of these great politicians, you know, because that's what he does. But by no means has he sold himself to any corporation and to any agenda. Mm-hmm. The only agenda is the one he's focusing on, and I'm right there in lockstep with him, brothers.
That's it, man. I appreciate you, Doc.
Yeah, man.
Well, look, Doc, thank you for coming in again. Kobe, did she give me a question? I don't know. Is it a resource issue? Okay, here goes one. Here's the lady before we go. It isn't a resource issue. These parents are more of a problem than the
kids. Kobe, you trying to get it dusted up in here? Listen, you and I both know that as an educator, I'm going to tell you how I work. I don't even deal with parents. I deal with the child, because guess what? Ultimately, the child's with me more than they're with the parent. Wow. I got your child's ears, eyes, and mind for 6 to 8 hours a day. When the last time a parent hung out with their child for 6 to 8 hours straight? Not never. So what I do is, when I realize that the issue is coming from home, I tell that child flat out, listen, I know this might be going on at your house, but it ain't culturally portable. You can't do that bullshit everywhere. You can only do it at your house. So unless you plan on never leaving your house, you better learn some new strategies. And I'm going to tell you, we have a problem because we got millennial and Gen Z parents. That's the issues going on right now. And they're very soft with their kids, and they're aligning themselves with their kids, and they don't think their kids do anything wrong. But the proof will be in the pudding in the next 10 to 15 years.
Wow. You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow, my brother.
The bad thing about it, these kids are going to pay the ultimate price for that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I remember talking to a fellow educator, and we were just like, it makes no sense. And this is in 2026 that kids, some of them, and this, you might not even believe me, brother, but there are children in the upper grades of elementary. We're talking 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Some of them don't know their parents' first name.
Wow.
They're like, what's your mother's first name? Oh, they call her Doobie. Well, what's her real name? And they have to think about it.
Wow.
Some of them don't know their address.
Wow.
They don't know a phone number because it's programmed into their phone. They don't have basic survival skills, a lot of children, and it's scary. You know, I remember one of the first things my youngest son, he's 13, he's going on 14. He knows my number, my wife's number, our address, all of that. He knew that by the time he was 3 and 4. I was like, you got to know this stuff. You know, you get lost. What are you going to say? I want to go to mommy? I mean, that's not going to work. Where you go? Where's your mommy? Mommy, where's she at? In New York. That's not going to work.
Wow.
You know, so I think Cole, what's his name? Kobe, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. The parents are extremely problematic, and they expect us to raise children. So guess what? Sad thing about it, we got to just deal with the cards we're dealt unless policy changes.
My brother. Look, Doc, man, I appreciate you as always. Look, folks, go find Dr. Abdullah on All Things Education Official, and don't forget him on TikTok with the FBA Educator. And that's my brother. We'll be back here for Beyond the Talking Points. Doc, any last words?
Nothing. I would say thank you. I appreciate all of you for tuning in and listening to our words. And if you believe you're doing a good fight, hit us up in the comments. Email us. Let us know some things that you think are important that we need to touch on, because that's important. We want to hear from you.
That's right. Kobe, send us your feedback and suggestions for the next segment of Beyond the Talking Points. We'll consider it always. Look, guys, I thank y'all for being here tonight. I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Tim Black Show. Go check out Dr. Musa Abdullah's channel for his content. And we are out of here. Peace.
All right.
All right, brother. I'm ending now, man. I'm gone, brother. Love you.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man.